Are those supersized drinks really responsible for the escalating obesity epidemic? New York City's Mayor Michael Bloomberg seems to think at least in part they are. This week he proposed a citywide ban on sodas and juices over 16 ounces. And while those sweet drinks do contain a shocking amount of sugar, many opponents are drawing a battle line between big government and big soda. ABC's John Donovan takes us inside the sugar war.
Say, Mayor McCheese, why the fancy outfit?
Mayor McCheese versus Mayor Bloomberg. Yeah, that's what we had today. McCheese, of course, the one-time official of McDonaldland in those old TV commercials. Bloomberg, of course, the real-time mayor of New York City, where the city has just proposed a law that will bar restaurants and other food service businesses from selling soft drinks in cups that are larger than 16 ounces.
All we're doing here is saying, if you want to order 32 ounces of soda in a restaurant that we supervise, this restaurant must give you two 16-ounce glasses. And what's likely to happen is you'll drink one and not the other.
To which McDonald's today actually volleyed back on Twitter. Mike Bloomberg, we trust our customers to make choices that are best for them. Wow. Just as the tobacco industry hated it when smokers were forced outside of restaurants, and Detroit hated it when laws mandated seatbelts, the restaurant industry hates this new regulation designed to promote health, and like the others, is making the freedom argument. And their response? Not that it's smart to be served so many calories, but that it should be your right.
This is the most ridiculous sort of nanny-statism. It's none of the mayor's business how much soda people are drinking. Obesity is not a public health problem. Obesity is a private health problem.
The new rules, which could take effect next March, would ban cups larger than 16 ounces of any liquid that contains more than 50 calories. Diet sodas, fruit snacks, and milk-based beverages, even calorie-rich milkshakes, would be exempt from the rule. Because really, the target is less on soda in itself than it is on the sugar that is in the soda. It's been talked about plenty these past few years, but few have had more to say about it than Dr. Robert Lustig, who became kind of a micro-celebrity of the sugar wars since we met up with him 2 years ago.
So you walk around these places and you sort of see the nutritional equivalent of opium dens?
Kind of, sort of.
Some numbers on the amounts of sugar we're talking about here. A 64-ounce soda typically has the equivalent of 87 sugar cubes. A 32-ounce soda has 41 sugar cubes. Even 16 ounces of soda has 20 sugar cubes. A pediatric endocrinologist by training, Lustig specializes in childhood obesity. He believes what is making kids fat is something in sugar, a molecule. It's called fructose, a common ingredient in sodas. But then it's also found in a lot of foods, as is sugar in general.
There's sugar in an orange. There's sugar in an apple. At some point, sugar is good for us.
Do you need sugar to live? Is it necessary? Is there any, even one reaction in your body that actually requires fructose? Zero.
One of Lustig's ideas to deal with kids drinking in the sugar that's in soda goes a lot further than New York's big cup ban.
Show me your ID, right? Okay, so the idea, 15-year-old walks into a convenience store, says, want to buy a can of Coke? Cashier says, show me your ID.
You want to card kids for Coke?
Absolutely. If a parent wants their kid to have a Coke, let them buy it for them. That'll cut down on all...
This drink is rated R?
Yeah.
Lustig believes that all sugars can be harmful, not just fructose, but also, in certain quantities, simple sugars from fruit.
So you see kids with juice boxes running around in the playground. What does that do to you?
It's a disaster. It makes no difference if it's a juice box or a soda in terms of the fructose load.
Lustig says that the level of obesity in America began to climb around the time that the food industry started using lots of high fructose corn syrup, because he said it's just so cheap and so readily available, and therefore so everywhere.
I went to our local supermarket here in San Francisco and I checked out 32 brands of commercially available bread on the shelves. 31 of them had high fructose corn syrup.
Every time we focused on one aspect of the diet and said, aha, that must be what is causing obesity, we've been wrong.
Cardiologist James Rippey consults for the Corn Refiners Association and has done research funded by PepsiCo.
In fact, there is abundant evidence to suggest that it is our own habits, namely the overconsumption of calories from all sources, which has led to the obesity epidemic in both children and adults in our country.
No one denies there is an obesity epidemic, especially not in New York, where more than half of all adults are obese or overweight, and where the prescription the mayor's come up with is clearly not a spoonful of sugar. I'm John Donvan for Nightline in Washington.